Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A World War II episode of the Signal Oil program, The Whistler. This was originally broadcast on January 8th, 1945. And the show only heard at this point in time, it would be heard a couple of times on the East Coast, but primarily just a West Coast program. And this program from this date entitled The Body wouldn't stay in the bay.
Let every go signal remind you that you do go farther with Signal gasoline. The Signal Oil Program. The Signal Oil Company and your neighborhood Signal dealer bring you another curious story by The Whistler. Tonight, the body wouldn't stay in the bay.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales, many secrets hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Presently I'll tell you of nameless terrors of which they dare not speak. This is where it was, right here. Not where the story ended, as Jim Mars thought it would, but where it really began. This is the spot where the beautiful Monica Lee's body came to the surface and was discovered by the police. They identified it and returned it to a small town down the coast, where it was claimed by relatives. And Jim Mars quit thinking about it. That was 6 months ago. Yes, this is where it was. On the dock by the bay outside the Skyland Club. Jim Mars' Skyland Club. Here comes Jim Mars. He owns the Skyland Club. He likes to see a crowd in the club, but he doesn't see one now, and he scowls. He walks around the tables and up the stairs to the door that says manager on it. He tries it, but it's locked.
Who is it?
Jim Mars, open it.
Just a second.
What's the matter with you, Tony? You scared of something?
I keep it locked lately. No use taking chances.
What chances? Everything all right?
Sure, but who knows? Somebody's always beefing. They're bound to when you're running a clip joint.
I thought you knew what to do when anyone beefed. You gotta be tough. That's the only way to be right.
Sure, if you can't do it any other way.
There isn't any other way. You know what's the trouble with you, Tony?
Sure, I got ulcers.
You got ulcers. You got holes in your head.
All right, you tell me.
You lost your nerve, Tony.
What?
I said it. You ain't got your nerve anymore. I've been keeping my eye on you ever since that little blonde on the floor show was found in the harbor. Why should it bother you? You didn't kill her. Or do you feel responsible?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I brought her in here to give her a chance. She was a good, clean kid. And it was a good thing I tried to do for her. I wouldn't have cared if it had been one of the others, but it has to be her that gets washed up out of the harbor.
And for that you lose your nerve? Listen, I've heard of guys losing their head for a gal, but never their nerve. And a dead dame at that.
Monica Lee wasn't a dame. She was a nice, clean kid. She didn't know from nothing.
Meaning what?
Meaning she wasn't brought up to understand she couldn't say no to a guy like you.
Some people learn hard.
You think you taught her anything?
Listen, things are either right or they're not right, see? I got no time for teaching. Now, while we're talking about things that ain't right, what about this club?
Sure, Jim, what about it? If Monica had lived, we'd be making money by now.
But she didn't. And it ain't paying, is it?
No, not quite. We're losing a little.
All right. I put enough dough on this plate to start 3 clubs. I want to start taking some in, see?
Jim, you know you can't take it out if it's not here.
You're the manager.
See that you get it here, then. Or I'm through with you. And I mean through.
He's sort of a nasty character, isn't he, Tony? He's got all the courage in the world. You had it once, till Monica was killed. Maybe if you could get your mind clear, you'll think of some way to get even with him. Maybe you'll think of something. Walk. Walk, Tony. How did you happen to walk down here, Tony? Down by the dock? Is it a coincidence, or did something attract you? Yes, there's someone right over there who will be glad to see you. She trails you down here, and she's waiting, Tony.
What do I get if I bump Jim off? Nothing but trouble. It's not true what he said. I haven't lost my nerve since Monica got killed. I got it yet. I'm just playing it smart. What happened to Monica? What's that got to do with it? Hey, what's that dame doing over there on the pier? Hey! Hey, you! Stop that! Wait! Here, you can't do that.
I can't do what?
Jump!
What?
Jump! I thought you were gonna...
Jump?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
You were wrong.
I guess I was. Must have been saying things.
Yes, I guess you were.
It's the place. A friend... A girl. They pulled her out of this water here. I can't...
A girl?
Yeah, she was... Something happened.
And you're haunted by the memory.
No, who said I was?
I thought that's what you were saying.
I wasn't. I said I wasn't.
Oh, yes, I heard you.
Well?
You just came down here because it's a nice place to walk. Beautiful scenery. Lovely atmosphere.
No.
No.
I was just walking and thinking, and here I am.
I'm figuring I might jump.
I saw you there. I swear it looked like...
It must have been on your mind. Were you thinking yourself?
Me? Why should I?
Yes, I see what you mean. I thought maybe it was on your mind. About that girl.
What about the girl?
Not a thing. You mentioned it. What's the matter with you? Somebody putting drops in your drinks lately? Or is it indigestion?
No, it's nothing. Just a guy I was thinking about, that's all. A guy I was talking to a while ago.
Jim Mars?
How did you know? Do you know Jim Mars?
I know a lot of things, Tony.
What? You know me? Who are you?
Stop, let me go.
Okay, I won't hurt you. Only it's so dark I can't recognize you.
That's just as well. You might not want to know.
Stop it. Tell me who you are.
Maybe Jim Mars wouldn't like it.
The devil with Jim Mars.
And your sentiment for Monica.
How do you know her name was Monica?
I told you I know a lot of things. Like what you were thinking about on your lonely walk tonight. You were thinking you'd like to kill Jim Mars, weren't you?
You're pretty smart, aren't you? You know an awful lot.
That wasn't hard to know. Jim always did give you a bad time, Tony.
Who are you? Tell me.
Here. Why don't you light my cigarette?
Sure. Monica. Monica. No, it can't be.
You should know, Tony.
Monica. No, Monica's dead. Killed by Jim Mars. Dead and in the bay and now on the ground.
Let's not go into details, Tony.
I don't get this. I thought you were dead.
Do I sound dead? Do I look dead?
Your voice sounds a little different, maybe, but... So help me, Monica, you look just like always.
Now, let me tell you this, Tony Canello. I'm not the same Monica I was before. You know what happened, and we won't go into that. But I'm telling you now it can't happen again. I've come back here because I have work to do, and I mean to do it. Are you following me?
Yes, Monica, of course. Haven't I always?
Never mind. I just want it straight. You're not going to help me kill Jim Mars. I want to know it this minute.
Yes, Monica, yes. I'll help you. Believe me, I will.
And no funny business, Tony. Well, relax.
I'm glad you're back, Monica. I'll breathe easier.
And I wonder how Jim Mars will breathe.
Not so easy. And not very long, I hope. How you going to work it?
I'd like to scare him to death.
I'm afraid it'll take a little lead, too.
I'll go back to work just like nothing had happened to me. You're never to admit that you see or hear me. That's all.
It's going to be pretty nice having you around, Monica. It'll seem just like old times.
That's right. Just like old times.
From January 8th, 1945, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a health care plan you don't like, right now is a great time to switch to MediShare. They'll waive your new member fee if you join by January 15th. So that's $170 in addition to all the other savings. The typical family saves $500 or more per month. And MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate when compared to health insurance. Double. Again, join by January 15th and save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. More of The Whistler, as it was originally broadcast January 8th, 1945.
Life will be a lot simpler with Jim Mars out of the way, won't it, Tony? And it helps to have Monica on your side, doesn't it? She gives you strength and nerve. It's pretty nice. But, Tony, don't ask yourself if it makes sense or not. Take what's given and be thankful, but don't be too curious about Monica. That'll keep till later. One thing at a time, Tony.
Pretty awful, Tony.
Monica, where'd you come from? I didn't hear you come in. Close the door. Been here long?
No, just a minute. I thought I'd drop in and haunt you. But I don't seem to bother you. You must think I'm a real person.
You're real enough to me, baby, and maybe you think that doesn't bother me. You know, I feel like a new man since you got back.
You've got nothing on me. I feel like a new woman.
Boy, that is a good one. Hey, reminds me, Jim was here the other night.
Did he see me in the chorus?
I couldn't tell him. I didn't mention it. He didn't let on to me. Some of the boys tell me he's acting pretty jumpy lately.
Good.
I've instructed everyone in the chorus and around the joint that you are not here.
Yeah?
Somebody asks about you. They don't know from nothing.
Swell, Tony.
Yeah, what do you want?
Boss, Jim Mars just came in the club.
Where is he now?
He's coming over this way.
All right, Joe, leave your switch on.
Sure, boss. He's right here. Hi, Joe. Who are you talking to, yourself?
Well, somebody has to tell me off when there was nobody else. Look, I've been waiting for a horse to run for 3 weeks. So today he runs, and I'm not on him. Well, you take it from there.
And he won by a mile. Well, you might as well try Yabo in a 7 tomorrow.
Yabo? Well, gee, Mr. Mars, thanks.
Hey, Joe. You remember Monica Lee?
Monica? Oh, sure I do. Hey, she was some chick.
Have you seen anyone around here lately that looks like her?
Like Monica? No, nobody could look like Monica, Mr. Mars.
No? No, maybe you're right. Well, where's Tony tonight?
The boss is upstairs in his office. And thanks for that dog, Mr. Mars.
Don't get aboard unless he's better than 10-1.
Okay.
Boss, did you hear?
Yeah. Okay, Joe. He's wise, all right.
Beginning to work.
It's a nice little gadget, huh, Monica?
Ah, sweet. Say, where can I go and listen to what he has to say to you?
In the accountant's office. There's no one there now.
How do you work it?
This switch here, kick it up.
Yeah.
Like that. Now beat it. It don't make a sound because it comes through here, this door.
Boy, are you getting brave. Door wasn't even locked. Oh, Tony, you can't really be that busy.
Oh, Jim. How are you? Sit down.
Sure I ain't taking time you need for business?
Quit it, Jim. You know I always got time for you.
Oh, sure. You can give me a minute, I guess, huh? Only make it brief, huh?
Ah, quit kidding, Jim.
Oh, I'm kidding, huh?
Well, aren't you?
Yeah, guess I am.
What's eating you, Jim?
Only you, Tony, that's all.
Why me?
This big shot stuff you're putting on with me, I don't like it, see?
Oh, no, Jim, I don't see. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm nuts. Just forget it. Make out like I didn't say a word. Anyway, maybe it's something I ate or drank.
Or did.
What?
Maybe it's something you did that upset you.
Nothing upset me, I tell you.
Well, I thought you said it did. And I didn't know but what it might be something in your past that was on your conscience.
Tony, since when have I had a conscience?
Oh, I heard about guys getting one all of a sudden.
You talk like you got holes in your head all of a sudden. Now drop it.
Want a drink?
Not now. I want to talk business.
Shoot.
Don't tempt me.
That's sharp. Pretty sharp.
How's business?
Huh?
You making any money yet?
Ah, well, you'll be glad to hear business is better.
How much better?
A couple of $100 a week.
Expense about the same?
About.
Payroll?
Practically the same.
What do you mean, practically?
Oh, well, you know how things are these days. Had to give the dealers a couple extra bucks a night. I try to keep them happy.
Quit babying them. Make them happy.
That way they knock down too much.
How about the girls?
The girls?
Any new ones?
Sure. The few in the chorus, you know what the turnover is.
Well, I guess I'll breeze. Keep it in mind what I said about this joint plan.
Yeah, sure, I'll remember.
Well,
Jim, was there anything on your mind about the girls?
No. I just saw some frail down there last week. Looked like Monica. I wondered, John.
That couldn't be, could it?
I never had one come back to life yet.
You're bragging, Jim.
Yes, Jim. That sounds just like old times.
What was that? Who said that?
Said what?
You heard of Monica. That was Monica's voice.
You're nuts, Jim. I didn't hear a thing.
You didn't?
I didn't hear anybody but you.
You're crazy. That box, it must have come out of that.
Well, that's not even on.
Want me, boss?
I was just trying to see if it was on, Joe, that's all. See, Jim wasn't even on.
You sure you didn't hear nothing?
Look, Jim, you better go see the doc.
How do you know you're not the one that's nuts?
I just asked myself.
Oh, nuts. I couldn't be. Why would she say that?
What'd she say?
Just like old times.
Yeah, that'd be Monica, all right. She was always saying it.
But these aren't old times.
No. And Monica's dead. That was her they dragged out of the bay, wasn't it?
You ought to know. You identified her, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But she'd been in the bay a long time.
Yeah. Well, it was Monica, and if she ever comes around, I'll have something to say to her. With lead.
That would make it just like old times.
Well, Jim, just like old times. Or so everybody says. There's something funny going on around here, isn't there? It's almost like a conspiracy, and yet you know it can't be. And you're getting worried. It's maybe just a little too much like old times, what with Monica around.
Yeah, who is it?
Jim, hello.
Monica. Monica, is it you?
Yes, Jim.
Baby, I can't believe it. How can it be?
Oh, you don't seem very happy to hear from me.
Believe me, baby, 1,000 times I've been sorry for what I did. 1,000 times I'd have brought you back if I could.
And here I am, Jim.
But how? Where?
I don't think you believe me.
But let me see you. I gotta talk to you, baby.
Well, you're talking to me, Jim.
But I want to see you and talk. You drive me nuts. I've been seeing you day and night, hearing your voice. What's it all about, anyway? Monica, you're not dead.
You killed me, didn't you?
Don't throw it up to me. I didn't mean to shoot her. I lost my head.
Sure you did, Jim.
I'm sorry, Monica. Honest. Give me a chance to show you.
I may.
Right now. Let me see you and prove to myself that I'm not going nuts. That you're real. I won't hurt you.
No one is ever hurt by something he's not afraid of. And Jim, I'm not afraid of you.
Good for you, baby. Hey, you let me see you?
Oh, sure, Jim. I never could resist you. But it's going to be different this time.
You said it, baby. Where are you?
Drop around to the club. At 11, I'll be in Tony's office.
Why there? Why don't you come up here?
Jim.
All right. Good. Can't you make it sooner?
Now, Jim. Be a good boy.
All right. I'll be waiting.
Me too, Jim. It'll be just like old times.
From January 8th, 1945, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater. We will have the conclusion of The Body Wouldn't Stay in the Bay, along with another episode of the soap opera Claudia from 1948 coming up. But first, we have some very important words coming to you, and these are from your favorite radio station. Well, you've heard me talk about Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and how his pillow's given me a great night's sleep. He continues to roll out new offers on his products. His latest on the towel sets. Now, towels aren't something you think about. I never knew what I was missing till I tried the towels last year. You've all helped build MyPillow into the incredible company it is today, and trust in Mike Lindell has given you a better night's sleep. Mike's now changing the game with his 6-piece towel set, USA cotton, extremely absorbent, yet still providing that soft feel you look for in the towel. 2 bath, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths for a limited time, $39.95 using our promo code USA. It retails for over $100. Remember, all MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio Listener Square, use this promo code USA to get this price of $39.99 on the towels, or call 1-800-951-8175. Now on Classic Radio Theater, the conclusion of The Whistler, The Body Wouldn't Stay in the Bay, as it was broadcast January 8th, 1945.
And now you're really confused, aren't you, Jim Mars? Partly relieved because now you know Monica is really back, but more confused because you can't figure out how she got back. You don't happen to believe in ghosts, do you, Jim? Well, you'll know soon enough. Remember, 11 o'clock in Tony's office.
You alone, Tony?
Huh? What do you think?
I'll get smart.
Okay, take a look around.
I don't see her.
That's tough.
Where is she?
Suppose you tell me who you're looking for. I don't mind reading.
That's right, you ain't. Look, I was talking to Monica today. She said she'd be here at 11.
You must be haunted. Monica's dead. And who should know that better than you?
I told you I talked to her today.
Jim, didn't you kill Monica 6 months ago?
Oh, I thought so.
Then how could you talk to her?
She was here, I tell you. I know that.
Did you go see the doc yet?
He said there was nothing wrong.
Maybe you better have somebody check on him.
You think I'm crazy? Well, I'm not. Because it could be Monica. She might not be dead.
I thought you dumped her into the bay.
That's just it. I didn't. That's something I've never been able to figure out. Her turning up in the bay. Unless I only wounded her and she started crawling for help and fell off the dock.
Oh, so you're not even sure you killed her?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. It's 11 o'clock and she's...
Gentlemen, please don't get up, and I'll join your friendly circle.
Circle? Triangle, and I don't like triangles.
Triangles? What are you talking about?
Now, boy.
You heard her?
Who?
Monica, listen to you nuts.
Brother, you really blown your top. What do you mean by Monica?
Well, look at you, dummy. Can't you see her?
So help me, Jim. You and I are the only ones in this room.
Monica, did you hear that? Tony can't see you. He can't hear you.
What does it matter, Jim, as long as we can see each other? As long as we can be together.
Sure, baby. Just us.
Us? What are you talking about?
I'm talking to Monica. You keep out of it.
Jimmy, you telling me you can actually see Monica here in this room?
Sure. Come here, baby. Just to show Jim you're real.
Is she coming to you?
Monica, come on, baby. Come over and prove it.
Where is she now, Jim? On your lap?
Don't be afraid, baby. Come on.
You don't know it, Jim, but you belong in the nut house.
Monica. Oh, baby, don't just stand there and look at me. Say something.
Jim, you better go home and hit the hay. I'll have the doc come over and give you something. And tomorrow we'll get it fixed up for you to go to some nice, quiet spot and rest up.
Monica, say something. Tell me you forgive me for what I did.
You're really going off your nut, Jim, begging for forgiveness from a ghost. And you said if you ever saw Monica again, you'd talk to her with lead. Well, go on, Jim. If you see Monica, go ahead. Talk with lead. That should show you there's nobody there. Go ahead, start shooting.
Monica, listen.
Go ahead, Jim. What are you waiting for? Talk with lead. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah? Okay, well, maybe I will.
Look out, Jim!
Hey, boss, what's wrong? Were those shots Hey, Tony and Jim Mars.
Yes. They're both dead.
Monica, are you all right?
Yes. Only don't call me Monica.
Well, Tony and Jim Mars lying dead, smoking guns in their hands, and Monica standing over them. Her gun in her hand, but she hadn't had to use it. And suddenly she doesn't like the name Monica. No wonder, it's not hers. Hers is Maria. Maria Lee, not Monica Lee. That explains, of course, why Jim Mars didn't shoot her, but instead turned his gun on Tony. You see, the minute she walked in and Jim met her face to face, he knew she wasn't Monica. He guessed exactly right, that she was Monica's sister, who looked enough like her to be a twin. Right away, he figured Tony was in on some kind of frame-up deal, and so he shot him. Later, perhaps, he would have attended to Maria, too. But Tony shot him at the same instant his gun went off. Why? Well, Tony's plan was very neat. He figured Jim would shoot Maria, or Monica's ghost, and he'd shoot Jim. He'd be out of any rap on the plea that he had tried to stop Jim's shooting of Maria. And he'd be rid of both of his troublesome friends. Yes, you see, Tony knew Maria wasn't Monica, too. He knew from the start, better than anybody. Because it was Tony, jealous Tony, who had found Monica wounded by Jim's bullet. And to get even with them both, had finished the job and dumped her body into the bay.
From January 8th, 1945, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater.
Oh, come on, I hate you. You have no right to speak to me. You're stupid, you're evil. You believe in your God, guns, and gold. You shouldn't have the right to vote. We must fix this disgusting country now. We want socialism now.
Whoa there, little fella. Our U.S. Constitution protects your right to say these things, even if they are drivel.
Our founders believed in our inalienable rights granted by God, not some mafia. Our Bill of Rights protects your personal freedoms, your absolute right to speak to others, whether loving and kind or hateful and stupid.
Utopia doesn't exist. It only destroys. Millions of innocents slaughtered by the communists in Cambodia, China, and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
And millions of people were gassed by Hitler's National Socialist Party.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore our American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com. That's SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Now on Classic Radio Theater, an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast January 8th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
please.
Okay.
Ninth floor, me too.
I gotta get $25,000.
Excuse me, please.
Just the two of us, huh?
Two of us?
Funny the way it goes. When I saw the ad, I thought there'd be 100.
I'm sorry, I don't...
Oh, come on now. Johnson and Groweiler's for a secretary, telephone girl, bookkeeper. $60.
What?
Oh, say, kid, you ain't exactly lightning, are you?
No, I guess I'm not.
It's all right. Sometimes I think you slow ones are the best off after all. The longer you take to do something, the more they think they're getting for their dough.
I'll have to remember that.
That's one of the things they never tell you in school. Just out, are you?
Oh, no, I've been out of school a year.
Never had a job, though, did you?
No, I never did. You see, I got...
I could tell in a minute. You're pretty, all right, but you kind of got that bewildered look.
No wonder I have. I'm just beginning to follow you.
Say, you don't have to get excited. Well, come on. We ain't gonna get mink coats scabbing out here. What sort of an outfit do you think it is, anyway? Johnson and Groweiler. My last was a writer.
You worked for a writer?
Worked is right, honey. Do I look the type to do anything else?
Oh, I mean, I was just surprised to hear you worked for a writer. That's what I meant.
He wrote 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 years. He wrote them little balloons for the comic books.
Oh, I never thought anybody wrote those.
Oh, sure, honey. Oh, I know what you mean. He wasn't a very educated writer. His grammar was awful. You wouldn't have thought he'd gone to school at all.
I guess there are all kinds of writers.
I sure made a fool of myself when I first started with him. I used to fix up his grammar a little. Then he told me to stop. He didn't have no call for good grammar.
I suppose every job has little things that you've got to learn.
No, they sure do, honey. That's what I like about a new job. Figuring out for yourself what it is the people need and then trying to give it to them.
I bet you're awfully good at it, too.
There's lots worse than me. Say, honey, this ad calls for experience. What are you going to tell them?
But I don't really want to...
Tell you what, if they're ready to bite, you tell them you work for a writer, see, for 3 years. His name is Hamilton Niblo.
Hamilton...
Don't worry, I'll fix it with them if they check up.
Oh, but I couldn't do that. That's not right. It isn't fair to you anyway, and besides, you see, I really...
Here, honey, you got to view these things realistic. That's a nice word, ain't it? It was one of Niblo's favorite words. When he was talking, I mean. You ain't competing with me.
Well, that's terribly sweet of you. It's the nicest thing I've ever heard of anyone doing, but I just came up here to...
You talk an awful lot, don't you?
I'm trying to tell you that...
It's all right. I like people who talk a lot, but we ain't got the time right now, dearie. Now, look, anybody's gonna hire you ain't gonna hire me.
I don't see how you know all that when you haven't seen them.
Look, honey, in business, the only thing that counts is men. We women work, and the men count. Now, there are 2 kinds of men in business. The men who like business and the men who don't like home.
It's amazing how simple things are when you know all about them.
The men who like business would never hire you because you don't know nothing. Not now, anyway. And the men who don't like home won't hire me because I'm just what they don't like about it.
But they'd be making an awful mistake if they didn't, because I
still talking, ain't you? And I like that. Now, listen, I'm going in first to case the joint. Now, you wait right there, honey. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Carolyn, is Mr...
Well, Claudia, you're a breath of fresh air.
Oh, Roger, hello.
Hello, darling. Say, you look kind of breathless.
I am. I've just finished 3 years working for a writer named Hamilton Niblo. We've been filling all those funny little balloons in the comic books.
Bully for Mr. Niblo. An old friend?
Haven't even met him.
This sounds like a very long story. Maybe you'd better save it for lunch.
Oh, I know what that means. You're in the middle of a conference with Roger. I'll stay out of your way. Let me go talk to Carolyn.
I'm afraid that isn't so easy. Carolyn is not here.
She isn't sick, is she?
Quite the contrary. She achieved the ultimate in health. She's having a baby.
She is. Catching.
A friend of Carolyn's was supposed to come in and take her place, but now she's changed her mind.
You mean you haven't any secretary at all?
I mean exactly that, and the tones of horror in your voice express my own reaction exactly.
David, what are you going to do?
We're going to get a new secretary from the agency.
And in the meantime, David and I have abandoned the drawing board for the switchboard.
I could have come down and answered the phone and done everything for you.
Darling, you're a mechanical genius, I know, and you've tamed the beasts of the jungles and the officers of the law, but you haven't got a chance with that switchboard.
David's cut himself off 3 times this morning, and as for myself, I have lost count.
But I am experienced. I worked for Mr. Niblo for 3 years.
Niblo. Who exactly is this human golf stick?
Probably some strange man my wife met in the elevator.
Darling, you're so almost right. I was coming up
Does
in the
Claudia talk to strange men, David?
If she really wants to start a conversation, she's been known to run them down in her car.
That isn't fair. It was an accident, and I didn't get a ticket like someone I know almost.
I think it's a charming habit. I hope that sometime I'll be the strange man you run into.
That was sweet. Just for that, I will go inside and leave you two to hatch your plots or whatever it is you were doing a minute ago.
We were trying to dissect the switchboard. There's a good magazine on my desk, darling. I'll be with you in about 3 minutes.
I'll be as quiet as a mouse. I won't even...
David, don't let her watch us fumble with this phone. She'll never respect you again.
David, are you the kind of man who likes the office or the kind who doesn't like home?
I'm the kind who likes you. Oh. What brought on a question like that?
I met the most remarkable person. David, you need a secretary. She'd be simply...
David, there's that infernal instrument again.
I am going to get it this time.
You should see yourself. Goodbye, have fun.
Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, nothing happened.
Here, you pushed the wrong key.
Yes, I know that. And now, which is the right key? Hello?
You have to have the two of them pointing up the same way at the same time. Here.
I see. Hello? I know. Which two?
Try those two over there.
All right. Hello?
Say, what do you think you have there, an egg beater?
This is a monster switchboard.
A monitor.
I use the word monster advisedly.
There is a telephone call somewhere inside it, only we can't seem to get it out.
Push down that one there and that one over there.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, hello, Kelly. I'm sure you've been trying to... Yes. Oh, that's fine. That's splendid. Thanks. Goodbye. Well, that's a considerable improvement. Kelly thinks he'll be able to get the heating people on the job by next Monday.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, yes. You certainly came in at an opportune moment.
Thanks. Now you better push that one back up again and flip this one over. Otherwise, next time you're going to cut yourself off again.
Why didn't someone tell us that a little earlier?
Yes.
They shouldn't let you men near a switchboard and typewriters. All a man has to do is write 3 words on a typewriter, and it'll never be the same again.
I'm inclined to agree with you, madam, and I'm very grateful you happened along.
Oh, sure. Say, what happened to Johnson and Grauweiler down the hall? They put in an ad for a secretary, and when I hustled up there, the place is locked up tight, like a speakeasy after the cops. Say, this ain't a bad office you got. Nice view. But it sure is a mess.
It satisfies its purpose.
Don't you even put your coat on a hanger? These hooks are murder on coat.
You are hanging up my coat.
I ain't gonna use it for a dust rag.
You are moving our papers.
Please be careful with those. They're important.
Oh,
Indeed,
sure
yes.
they're important. Last Thursday's Times. You don't want that, do you? Oh, here's your checkbook underneath it. I'll bet you've been looking for it all morning, ain't you? I knew it.
Really, young woman, we're perfectly able to take care of this office.
Oh, sure. Listen, mister, the man isn't born yet who could take care of an office. What's the matter with your girl? Is she sick?
She left us. She's having a baby.
We've asked the agency to send us a new secretary.
Killian and Norton. Nice names. What are you, draftsman?
I'm not sure whom this concerns, but we happen to be architects.
Oh, is that so? I never worked for an architect.
Well, it's a highly specialized profession. Isn't it, David?
Some of it is.
Don't tell me it's so specialized you don't like to make money.
Really, young woman?
I don't mean to be fresh, but as far as a secretary goes, nothing's very specialized. She's got to know who you don't want to speak to and how to write good letters, and she's got to like the people she's working for. I think I could get to like you.
You're a secretary? I'm awfully sorry. But we've already asked the agency to send someone up. Besides, we can't afford to pay very much right now.
Oh, that's bad, but it ain't serious. The money don't matter as much as the way people feel about me.
I'm not altogether sure we could qualify under those terms. They're a trifle too mystical.
Killian and Norton, good morning. Mr. Killian? May I tell him who wants him? 1 second, please, and I'll look around for Mr. Killian. Which of you's Mr. Killian?
I am.
You want to talk to him, Mr. Kelly?
I certainly do.
Just a minute, please. Here's Mr. Killian now.
Hello, Kelly. Yes. Yes, we did get one in a hurry.
Well, Miss...
McBride.
McBride, when you say money isn't serious, how little does it have to be before it gets serious?
How much were you paying the last girl?
The last girl, 55.
Oh, but she'd been working here for years, I know.
Yes.
I like this place. I like a place that's small, and I like to start with a couple of people who think they don't need me. I'm starting at 45.
50.
I said 45.
All right, you win. When will you start?
I'll be back right after lunch.
Well, I guess Killian and Norton have a new secretary, Miss McBride.
You got a lot more than that, Mr. Norton. You just wait and see.
That's right.
So long.
So long.
Yes. Okay, Kelly, I'll hear from you then. About the heating as soon as you find out yourself. Right. Goodbye. I see you got rid of her.
Miss McBride?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got rid of her till after lunch.
How's that?
We have a new secretary.
You took her? That? Why, she isn't the type at all. We've never had such an aggressive person in here before. She'll stir everything all up. She'll put everything away where we can't find it. She'll do all these...
Roger, did you ever think maybe we need a little stirring?
Well, we hired her, but we don't have to keep her.
No, of course not. Of course not. But we've got a hunch that she'll work out.
Oh, I'll believe it when I... There's Kelly again. Now, what did she say to do?
Here, you push these two up. There.
Hello. Now what, I've lost it again.
Claudia, ready for lunch?
Ready. I just ate a death.
Hello. Oh, this infernal machine. Now what do I do?
Why did you push that one?
Everybody's an expert today.
Well, I might as well try it. Hello. Oh. Hello, Kelly.
See, David, it takes a woman to run an office.
I gave up 10 minutes ago. We just hired a secretary.
Oh. Well, I wish you'd met the one I did in the elevator. She was marvelous.
Really?
She would have been a sensation.
Really? Well, ours is a sensation, too. You just wait till you see her.
This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
You know, Claudia's really not a sad soap opera the way we think of soap operas today, but they're actually kind of fun and an insight into a delightful family. Claudia, January 8th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater. Remember, our podcasts have moved. Search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That is Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Also, remember that our programs are also available through our website, classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. You'll see the links there. That'll get you right over to where you need to go to get our podcasts from, don't you know? And don't forget that our shows, we thank this station and support their advertisers. We really do. If it weren't for the radio stations, we wouldn't be here. If it weren't for the advertisers, the radio station wouldn't be here. So support them both, won't you please? Tell them we said hi. And tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.